to the Plus Side of Nashville. We've been talking about Harvest Hands, the nonprofit organization working to improve the lives of those in the intercity of South Nashville. And my guests are Courtney Hicks and Steve Atkerson. And before we went to the break, we were talking about the fact that you have businesses and that you offer also some incentives for the folks that work in your program. Steve, if you would talk about some of the ways that you all work to try to reward these young people in your program.
Absolutely. Every student that's involved in our high school program, they're also tied in with the businesses.
Okay.
So they're almost one and the same. So each student that actually works in our businesses, they get paid. So they get paid an hourly wage for everything that they do, and all the proceeds from the coffee and soap sales go directly back into the organization to purchase more beans for roasting, to keep up with maintenance on our coffee roaster, and to also set up scholarship funds. So 100% of the proceeds go into paying them and going right back into the businesses to keep them going.
Well, speaking of the businesses, let's kind of talk more about those, Courtney, because you know we've already alluded to them, and we've got some of your products sitting here now. You have what's called micro businesses, or I guess mini businesses that these young people help to run. One is Humphrey Street, and one is Wow Soap. Explain these products in the business.
All right, well, WOW Soap actually stands for Women of Wisdom, and it's basically, we pair both businesses with a mentoring program that we do with high school students. And so the soap's actually all natural, handmade soap that we make. It's basically the basement of an old church building where Harvest Hands is housed. And so we have our soap making room, and so the girls help in the whole process of making the soap, of packaging, stamping our bags, writing the different fragrances on the cards. And then the coffee company, Humphrey Street Coffee Company, we roast coffee beans. And so we have a lot of wholesale accounts around town that we sell to. We also sell it in several shops around town, like 1907 Apparel sells it for us in East Nashville. And so we also have our shop where we roast the coffee and make the soap, where people can come in Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 and purchase our products. And as Steve said, all of our profits goes back into making the whole program self-sustainable.
Nice. So the young people are the employees of the company, and they help to make all these great products. You've got this lavender. It's lavender, which is one of my favorite fragrances. You got a vanilla, verbena, so several different choices that you can choose, and that's just really a beautiful bar soap. It smells fantastic, and various types of coffee beans as well.
Yes.
Wonderful. So if people want to know more, you've got a website about how they can get these products, right?
They can go straight to harvesthandscdc.com, and there's links on that home page to send you to the Humphrey Street Coffee Company page and the WOW Soap page.
Great. So I know you have the young people as your employees, but what about volunteers? I know a lot of times with nonprofits, you need a little extra help from time to time in some of your programs or some of the events that you host. Are you looking for volunteers?
Yes, we're always looking for volunteers. We kind of exist as a nonprofit on volunteer help. So we're always looking for people to help be a mentor in our after-school programs with elementary, middle, and our high school students, as well as we run sports programs in the neighborhood, and so we're always looking for volunteer coaches for basketball, cheerleading, soccer, flag football.
Wow.
So we're always looking to plug people in to help us run our programs.
That's wonderful. So if anybody wants to volunteer for a wonderful cause, they can also probably go to that website, and there's a phone number where they can reach you.
Yes, and all of our volunteer opportunities are actually listed out on our website too, so you can find what you're interested in.
I think that's wonderful. So I know you have to have funds, of course, to run a business like this and to pay your young employees. You have a big fundraiser coming up in the coming weeks. Talk about it. It's a 5K run? Walk?
The 5K is actually in November.
Oh, it's in November. I'm sorry, it's in November.
We have we do a big annual campaign, and so that's next week, next Tuesday. It's a breakfast that we do.
Oh, that's a breakfast. So how does that work?
Well, it's basically everybody's invited, but we have a pretty targeted invitee list of past donors and volunteers who we invite to that. And it's kind of really our kickoff for our annual giving campaign, because as you said, we're a nonprofit. We always have to raise funds to exist, and so that's kind of our invitation for people to come and to learn more about us, and also to give financially to help sustain us as an organization.
Absolutely. And then of course you got your walk coming up in November, and I wish you both the best of luck on everything. I love what you're doing with Harvest Hands, and thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. Well, when we come back, we'll learn about Williamson County CASA, so stay with us.